The Colorado Women's Coaches Association was founded on April 23, 1970. Helen McCall of Westminster High School called 34 women together to discuss why CHASA changed the spring gymnastics season to the fall without any input from the coaches. These women decided to form a coaching organization with Helen McCall as their first president. The first general meeting was held in the fall of 1970 with over 180 female coaches in attendance, and they were off. In 1971, the Division of Girls and Women in Sport, sponsored by the American Alliance of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation, held its national conference in Estes Park. DGWS was so impressed with the organization of CWCA and the progress that they were making in the state, they asked CWCA if they would share their organizational structure with other states. California formed its first Women's Coaches Association based on the CWCA Constitution. CWCA rewrote the CHASA individual sport bylaws in the year 1972-73. They established the Equal Opportunity in Sport Committee, headed by Maureen Sanford. After the enactment of Title IX, Ruby Miller of Adams City High School sued her school district with the help of lawyer Gene Dabosky, calling for equal facility, practice time, and pay. That led the way for other school districts to get on board, offering girls sporting opportunities. CWCA asked CHASA to place women on their board of control. Alice Cookie Barron from Jefferson County was the first to be put on the Board of Control, with Bev Peterson from Denver Public Schools joining her that same year. In 1975-76 school year, CHASA hosted the first state volleyball and basketball tournaments in 3 divisions. Throughout the next 15 years, CWCA offered coaching clinics and officiating clinics around the state.
Hello, my name is Terry Ward, and I am the president of Colorado Coaches of Girls Sports. I have been involved with CCGS for over 25 years. I have been president for the last 22. I just recently retired as the head girls basketball coach at Niwot High School. I hope this shows you that I am very passionate about girls and women in sports. This summer, we will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX. On June 23rd, in 1972, Title IX was signed into law. I am a byproduct of Title IX. Because of Title IX, I was allowed to participate in sanctioned sports here in the state of Colorado my freshman year of 1973. Was it easy? No. Was it worth the effort? Definitely yes. Colorado Coaches of Girls Sports has given me the platform to be an advocate for all the girls and women in sports here in Colorado. I applaud all the men and women who are passionate about giving young girls the opportunity to achieve their dreams of being an athlete, a coach, an official, or anything else they choose to be by participating in sports. My message to all of you is this: never, ever take for granted the opportunity you have been given to participate and compete. We all have the women who started this organization to thank for that. Give back some way, somehow. I encourage all of you to help keep this organization alive and thriving.
Hello, my name is Sheila Worley, and I taught and coached at Northeastern Junior College in Sterling for 31 years. The reason I joined CWCA, and I was one of their original members, I wanted to be among people or learn to know people who had the same interests and goals that I had in promoting girls and women's sports. They gave me the opportunity to not only learn to know others, but to actually watch them play. In fact, when they started the All-State games, I had an opportunity to go and watch a lot of players play from all over the state, and this was good for me on the college level. Now, if you want to help the people out in the organization, which is now Colorado Coaches of Girls Sports, and further improve, or better yet, just carry on the tradition that the early leaders gave us, you should join as a member or become a volunteer on their committees. There were many great people in that organization, and I had an opportunity to use them as speakers at my athletic banquets and also at my sports clinics. Serving on the executive board of directors, we have 3 students, that 2 of them were student athletes at Northeastern Junior College. All 3 of them attended the college and graduated and became outstanding coaches by playing, coaching, officiating, or even being an educated spectator. I think sports can be a way of life.
CCGS has played such a significant role in the advancement of girls sports in Colorado. I think about when CCGS started, I was in elementary school and not that far away really from playing high school sports. And to think that what they did helped me in my high school playing days to be able to compete and have a sanctioned girls sport in Colorado, it's huge. And I really am grateful for the work that these ladies have done in the history of Colorado girls sports to get us to where we are today as coaches, as female athletes, as female sports programs across the state. We owe them such a big thank you and much gratitude for getting us and promoting girls sports way back then.
In 1978, CWCA, along with the Pueblo Stadium Expansion Committee, sponsored the first all-state basketball games. In the summer of 1979, with the help of Scott Stalker, who wrote for the Colorado Sidelines and the Rocky Mountain News, independently hosted the second all-state basketball game and the first all-state volleyball match at Regis College, celebrating 24 girls in each sport. In 1982, CWCA changed its name to Colorado Coaches of Girls Sports as more and more men were joining the ranks of coaching girls.
My name is Mary Kwame. I taught and coached in Colorado for 30 years. My first 2 years were at Adams City High School in District 14. Then I went to grad school for a year, and then I landed at Arvada West High School in Jefferson County. I taught PE and coached there for 28 years. When I arrived at Arvada West, we already had teams for track and gymnastics, but we had no team sports. Girls were only allowed to compete in individual sports and keep individual scores. So a bunch of women got together, we formed CWCA, Colorado Women's Coaches Association. And by 1972, when Title IX was passed, we were ready. We got team sports started all around the state. I believe they started more quickly because of CWCA. Women were supporting each other. We all wanted to have more opportunities for girls to compete in team sports and individual sports. So we got together, we had coaching clinics. Most of us needed to learn how to coach. We hadn't had a lot of competitive experience in high school and college. I think it's important for women to have leadership positions as far as coaching and teaching and administrating. I think we need to set examples for our athletes.
Hi, my name is Laura Fisher, and I've been a member of CCGS since 1977, my first year of teaching and coaching. Helen McCall and CWCA assisted me when I filed a Title IX suit with my school district in 1978. They directed me to the EEOC, to the Colorado Department of Education, and the Colorado Education Association. I won that suit, and therefore the girls that fall in 1978 had an equal budget for their sports, equal practice time, equal facility, and the coaches of girls' sports had equal pay. CCGS is a very strong organization. We have supported over 6,000 girls, giving them the opportunity to participate in the all-state volleyball, softball, and basketball games. Over 72 athletes wanting to go into physical education and coaching have received scholarships through the Ruby Miller Scholarship Fund. And we support the Coach of the Year, the Helen McCall Coach of the Year, and have done so for 30 years. Many women and men have worked hard to give girls an opportunity to play sports and better themselves throughout the years. Throughout the 80s, CCGS redesigned itself with their all-state games in volleyball and basketball. They wanted to include more girls. They first expanded it to a 1A, 2A, a 3A, 4A, and a 5A match format. In 1989, these games were expanded to 5 classifications, honoring 90 senior athletes in basketball and volleyball. CHASA added softball as a sanctioned sport in 1987, and thus CCGS added the All-State Softball Games, spearheaded by CCGS Hall of Famers Chris Beal and Paul Cedillo. Those games also expanded to a 1A, 3A game, a 4A, and a 5A game. The CCGS leaders in the 80s include Mary Kwame, Judy Barnett, Betty Kruger, Steve Shield, Mary Wood, Diane Schell, Susie Keister, Scott Stalker, and many others.
CCGS continues to have an influence and a strong voice in female sports across the state, as we have representatives that sit on the CHASA basketball, volleyball, and softball committees. And so they still continue to promote and advocate for girls' sports across the state.
Hello, my name is Alice Barron, also called Cookie by many people. I grew up in Texas and was able to play high school athletics. And then I went to college on a full basketball scholarship, Wayland Baptist College in Plainview, Texas. At that time, NCAA didn't sponsor women's sports. And many high schools, many states didn't either. So I was privileged. I coached and taught for 10 years, last 2 years at Arvada West High School, and then went into administration in Jefferson County Schools. I went on to later become the Associate Director of Athletics for the Jefferson County Schools for Girls and Boys. But once Title IX was approved in 1972, things got a little bit easier around the state, but it was still a little difficult. The JEFCO programs thrived, many leagues started girls programs, CHASA sanctioned many more sports, and things were looking up. I was the first woman on the CHASA Board of Control, followed by Beverly Peterson from the Denver Public Schools. I was the first woman to be a member of the Colorado Athletic Directors Association, even though they had to change their bylaws in order for me to become a member. And I eventually became the president, first woman president of that organization. Now women are involved all around the state, and I'm so proud of that. I would say individuals make such a tremendous difference, but individuals as a group can even do more. I want you to be a joiner. I want you to get involved. I want you to make a difference, because you can and you will.
Hi, I'm Susan Snyder, and I was the volleyball coach at Semla High School in Semla, Colorado for 36 years. In 1999, I was honored with the Helen McCall Coach of the Year Award, and I felt so honored because I had been coaching about 15 years at that time and was just trying so hard to get the program established and to try to help my kids find success both in athletics and as people. And so the Helen McCall Award helped me to know that I was headed in the right direction. And so I really appreciate that. And without people like Helen McCall, who helped pave the way for female athletes, and along with the Title IX Act, I was able to, it provided doors and opportunities for females to pursue, to try to have a chance and an opportunity to compete for a state title. And it also gave females the opportunity to go on to college and play in sports. And by doing so, I was able to get a scholarship that helped these things are the things that make me feel very grateful for those people who came before me. And so get involved with CCGS, become a member of Colorado Coaches of Girls Sports. Some of my most memorable times was when I was the coach or the assistant coach at the CCGS All-State Games, coaching my student athletes as well as other people's student athletes. And so I think that they would tell you too that those were very, very special times. So get involved in CCGS.
Hello, my name is Dave Walk, and I am a proud member of the Colorado Coaches of Girls Sports Advisory Board. I am currently an assistant principal and athletic director at Fossil Ridge High School in Fort Collins. I have been blessed to have the tremendous opportunity to be a longtime educator, coach, and administrator at several schools here in Colorado. In my career, one of the best professional development investments I made was becoming a member of the Colorado Coaches of Girls Sports. I joined the organization at the recommendation of one of my mentors, Hall of Fame volleyball coach Fran Sixkiller. She helped me understand that as a rookie coach, I had a lot to learn about coaching a girls' sport. She explained to me the many challenges she faced as a female athlete and as a coach of girls' sports, both prior to and after the implementation of Title IX. That conversation still resonates with me. She and many other trailblazers in women's athletics started and became part of this organization to promote equality, celebrate the female athlete, and equip the coaches of female sports with the tools and knowledge to be successful. They wanted CCGS to have female athletes showcased and celebrated for the contribution these athletes were making to their team, their school, and their communities. These trailblazers also made sure CCGS provided scholarship opportunities for coaches to improve their toolbox. They created a scholarship for female athletes so that if they wanted to become a coach down the road in their career, they could. I volunteer and serve this professional organization to maintain and ensure those principles set forth by those who have served before me last long into the future. I want to help provide the same benefits to my athletes and colleagues that were established in CCGS's inception. I am a member of CCGS because I not only want my athlete to earn the prestigious CCGS All-State honor, but I want to honor those before me who worked tirelessly and invested so much that I and many others now have the opportunity to be a coach of girls' sports. I hope you will be a member of and serve CCGS, not only to support the mission of CCGS, but to better yourself professionally and collegially.
CCGS awards coaches of girls, officials, or athletic directors annually with the Helen McCall Coach of the Year Award. Mary Kwame established and runs the CCGS Ruby Miller Scholarship, supporting girls wanting to have a career in coaching or sport management. The scholarship application is located on our website, and the annual application deadline is February 12th. The CCGS board has made the best of the COVID-19 epidemic, continuing to host the outdoor all-state softball games. During the 2021 season, volleyball and basketball games were not held, but senior girls were selected and honored for their athletic achievements. In the fall of 2021, CCGS again hosted the softball and volleyball matches.
Being selected as a CCGS All-State player it's kind of a big deal, and it's a really special recognition. It also provides players just really special memories and experiences, and I really like that about the CCGS games is the number of athletes that get to interact with each other and play with each other and be showcased in a way and recognized for the hard work that they put in for the last 4 years of their high school career. The memories, though, and the experiences, I think that is just key. And what my players, former players, remember is just the fun that they had and the players that they got to play with.
CCGS is 52 years old and has honored over 5,000 plus senior girls over the last 40 years. We have representation on the CHASA sport committees. We honor outstanding coaches annually through coaching opportunities, the Helen McCall Coach of the Year, and CCGS Hall of Fame. and we work to make girls' sports in Colorado respected nationally. We are at a crossroads and need you to make a difference by getting involved in leadership positions with CCGS.
We need you.
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 We need you. Join CCGS.